Bole Baba ki jai. It's because of our chairman Arvindal that he has asked all the devotees to tell their experiences about the ashram or Babaji especially. I have held a very divine and personal experience which I have kept almost very close to my heart and not narrated to anyone except Renu and Maniraji till now. How I went to the ashram was like a child going to a school because it was the first time after my daughter Rashmi got married to the Aluwalia family, Manish Aluwalia, Renuji's son, that I went to the ashram for Prakat Divas, that is February, May. It was like a small child going to a school because on the way I was being narrated and taught or made familiar with the rules of the ashram and what am I expected to do. And in short, Renu made it so easy. She said, just for be near me, otherwise line se पीछे हट गए तो फिर तुम रह जाओ मेरे साथ साथ रहना. और then we reached Haldwani and met Muniraj ji also. It was beautiful. I had just imagined all this, but when I reached, it was like what I was as a child when I grew up as a Shiv Bhakt. I had reached my destiny. And slowly, as I was told कि अभी हवन नहीं होगा, उस साल वो हवन भी हो गया. We saw all the seasons during those 2 or 3 days. बारिश भी हो गई, गर्मी भी हो गई, पहाड़ में सब कुछ. So it was like Baba had been very kind to me. I was feeling very special myself. That, oh, I've seen whatever I had heard. And I got so much love from Man Singh, who used to serve us hot food and rotis made by his own hand in Maniraj's room. And then the Chandan, all that experiences. At this stage, I would cut it short and say that slowly, it was all with Renuji's guidance, Lakshmiji's patience and calmness that I learned to be a better person, a better devotee. Babaji ने मेरे अपने आप से शायद देखा because I was actually at that time handling Eureka folks. And I had been asked to look after the water in the ashram. And that's how I used to send my technicians for installation, service, and everything followed. I was once there with my technician. I accompanied him, Mohan Singh. And when I reached there, I was not aware that somebody was there from Yahoo who was already here and there looking at Shiva Dham in India. He met my technician and asked him who you are and who's this lady, probably. So he said, oh, she's my mother. Oh, you are her son. How many children she has? He said, she's got 7 sons because I had about 10 technicians. And the fellow came to me and said, we want to interview you and tell us more about the ashram. I said, see, I'm quite new. I was hardly there for a year or so. So if you want to really know more, please go to Munirajji's room or go to the persons who are living here. But right now, if you want, he said, no, I've been told that you have 7 sons and you come here very often. So I said, oh my God, who told you this? I have got 10 technicians. And if that boy has told you, yes, he's just like my son. So anyway, Yahoo, whatever little I could, because they said, no, you sit. They made me sit and took my interview. Then told me you can have a look at it. Little bit that I knew about Shiva and little bit I knew about that ashram, I told him. Over the years, I came to know I still make certain mistakes. I try to mend myself, and yet I find myself somewhere I'm still making a mistake. I want to be perfect. I want to be perfect. But Babaji's kripa, and every time I needed him, he appeared, whether in my dream or in my imagination, or helped me somehow. There was a time when my husband wasn't keeping good health, and I used to rush back from the ashram after 2 days of Navratras or 3 days. But sometimes he would accompany me, but he would remain in the room because he couldn't walk because of his Parkinson problem he had. Muniraj ji was so careful. He would say, Subhash ji, आप वहीं बैठो मैं वहीं पर आपको लगा दूंगा तिलक. But he would still come, but not sit on the ground, just bend and get his tilak done. Subhash was keeping ill health, and he underwent many operations, tests, and medication in different hospitals. And he was a very strong person because he had gone through all these pains and still used to bear with a smile. There was never a time that he had a white smile. But about 15 years back, he was very ill, and all the tests, there was nothing clear from that. And the doctors wanted he should go through an MRI. Somehow he was scared of getting an MRI. And he said, don't force me for this test, please. If you take me in that machine, I will not come out. She was with me. I was there and trying to tell him, Papa, you had so many tests done. And why are you getting scared? 2 minutes it will take you and they'll bring you out. He said, no. If I go, I know I will not come out. And recently, I was not keeping good health. And I went through some tests. And when I went for my MRI finally, I was reminded of that day when Subhash was getting scared to get an MRI. Somehow the doctors had sent the person, made the arrangements in the hospital. The boy came to take us on the wheelchair. Subhash, Shiv and I, we went down where the MRI was to be done in 40s, Noida. And there he was, I was holding his hand, it's absolutely ice cold. He was so nervous. And I was getting all the time telling him, Subhi, you're being so scared. I just bent down and told him in his ear, जोर से बोलो भोले बाबा की जय. And next minute when I get up, I see somebody walking towards us along with another maybe 2, 3 people. But that person walked right in front of us. I'm standing on right, Shiv is standing on left, Subhash was sitting in the wheelchair. And we were told to wait. This man walks right in front of us, the smile, and he says, अरे आप इतने से टेस्ट के लिए घबरा रहे हो? We would like, naturally, who's this person who doesn't know us? But when I just looked, I just kept quiet, listening to him because there was something familiar about him. He had that tilak which was slightly rubbed because he was coming out of a test. And then his way of talking, I heard all this. Softly he says, अरे आप क्यों घबरा रहे हो? आप जैसे ही अंदर जाओगे, लाइट को देखोगे, चादर साफ है, रूम तो साफ है. चलो, कैसी है ये मशीन भी ठीक ही दिखती है. और उतने में वो बोलेंगे आपको, चलो चलो सब ठीक है, पैसा वसूल हो गया उनका, चलो चलो सब ठीक है. And he smiled and he just did this to Subhash. And next minute, this person calls us number, or Mr. Bhambri, you're being called. And my son says, Mama, आप अब बातें नहीं करो, चलो, बुला रहे. And the moment he turned his wheelchair here, and I said, but where is this man who was talking to us? He says, आप उस पे concentrate नहीं करो, आप उधर चलो. And I went on looking around. That man was nowhere. I'm telling Shiv, that was Baba. That was Baba. Where is he? He says, Mama, chalo. And when after the test, when we went back to our room, I still have that photograph which we used to keep below his pillow, and never got it framed also. And Shiv saw that photo and he says, "You're talking to the man downstairs." And then he pointed at the photo and he looked at me. I said, "Yes, I was telling you he was Baba." That's how I got that. Yes, that was Babaji. And sure enough, after that 5 years, Subhash was very healthy. And he made up his mind and he says, let's go to the ashram and tell Muniraj about it. And of course, the next day only after that, I had called up Renu and told her, Renu, aaj aise hua hospital mein hamare saath. And then we went and told Muniraj ji about the whole thing. Bole Baba ki jai. Babaji has been very kind to me, very dear to me, very special. He's made me a different person, a different way of looking at life. When I stayed in another house nearby, there was Sai Baba Mandir, where again they had Paduka. I rather didn't see at the Murti of Baba, but I used to go to that temple at 5 o'clock in the morning just to see those Padukas because I was missing Baba's Paduka. And then at times, if I reached late, they had finished with the Shnan and all there, and the Pandit would say, Aaj aap late aa gaye. Because I had to attend to Subhash also sometimes. But that's how every time it became so special. And Baba has come in to help me every day. In fact, itni leela hoti hai कि I don't want to share them. They are too personal. They are too personal. My children get upset with me at times. They relax, relax, relax. Time is short. You never know. I've reached a senior citizen I am. And I want to. My father had taught me to read Gita from childhood. He used to read to us. He's given me pocket editions with markings. एक बार नहीं इसको 10 बार पढ़ो. Every time you read, you'll get a new message. If you don't follow, ask me. So till today, I read a line or two or a chapter sometimes in the early morning. That, along with Babaji's teachings, is to Mahan, to be narrated in words. My father, even at 90, would read Gita because I think even till that age, he found a new meaning every time he read it. That's exactly what happens when you go nearer to Baba every time. Even when I do my daily puja, I get a new message every day. No, you are still not perfect. Still, this thing, I come to know what is like I like. I try to reach that perfection. I try to bend myself on that. Babaji's been very kind, very, very kind. And each and every one of us, you people all are senior to me. You all have experienced, you have Pujari, when I see him, his devotion, I'm still on that road. Renuji, she knows all the mantras. I still don't know. I have to read and I don't know. I can read and know the meaning of it. I can do the Havan, but not without reading. So there's still lots to learn, and it's never too late. Life is too short. Knowledge is too vast. Bale Baba ki jai.